Alright, this video is going to show you how to use the Revolve tool. Just like any other tool that we are using, we're always going to start with sketching. And so I'm going to go ahead and create a basic sketch here that we're going to end up using and revolving. So I'm just going to kind of throw something together really quick. I'm going to trim out the inner parts here. That will allow us to just extrude it one time. Okay. So once I have a shape that I want to revolve, I'm going to go ahead and finish the sketch. Alright. The Revolve tool is located up here, right next to Extrude. So the Revolve is going to basically extrude around an axis. So it's going to spin up to 360 degrees. You can actually do it less if you want. Alright. So when I hit the Revolve tool, notice it has found my shape. So my profile is already selected, which is noted right here. And now all I need to do is make sure I'm selecting the axis in which I want to revolve around. So when I hit the select button, I'm going to choose which axis. It's going to spin around. So I'm going to click on this axis right here just to show you. And you can see how it has taken this profile and it has revolved it or spun it around this axis right here. So depending on what you want shape-wise is where you're going to be selecting the different profiles. So right here I could select. I could also select on a different axis. So if I selected on this one, you can see how that's actually giving me a little bit of a different shape. Okay, so it's taking that shape and now spinning it around this axis right here. Okay. So it does take a little bit of imagination on if I were to select certain axes, which one, what result am I going to get from that? Okay. So if I click on this one and I like how that looks, I can always hit the OK button. Angle, I can do. I don't have to go all the way around. So like if I put in 180 degrees right here, you can see how I've just done that in half instead. So those are kind of your options with Revolve. I'm actually going to do a full revolve just to show you one more thing here. So there is my revolve shape. Now revolve can also be used to remove some things. So let's say I want to sketch on the top here. And I'm going to go ahead and just make a rectangle. Let's go right down the middle here. Actually, let's do it this way. Actually make it so it's even along there. So here's my rectangle, and when I finish that up, you see that the rectangle is there. And I can actually revolve and cut away from this object as well. So if I hit the Revolve tool, the profile needs to be selected this time. So I'm actually going to select the entire rectangle, so I'm going to have to click 3 times here. The axis I also need to select, and so I'm going to select right here. Notice it's joining, so it's making a new one, but what else I can also do is cut away from this, and let's go all the way around as well. Okay, so this entire red piece is just going to be completely removed from the object that already exists. Now, before, my 180 was going the wrong way, which is part of the reason. So if I actually go in, I think I could do minus 180 here. So you can see how I could do a 180 cut like that. Either way, once I hit OK, now you can see that that is removed, and it sweeps down along that path of the revolve. So you can see that in red. That's going to remove all that, and then I'm left with this shape here. So it's going to give you a different type of finish than just using extrude, because it's always going to be rotating around an axis. Okay. The other thing that you can do with the Revolve tool is, let's say you want to trace in an image, and then you can do half of it. So let's just say I want to do something like this. Actually, let's do like a vase. So one of the things you could do is, and I'm going to start here. So I'm going to kind of make a vase type shape. Now I'm not going to take my time, I'm just using the line tool. If you were to make something like this, you would obviously spend more time than I would. But I could go back up to the top And what I could do here is just do this around the edges. Kind of make sure I line this up here. There you go, so I have like a flat bottom. Okay, and now what I can do is I can rotate around this axis, which will leave a gap up at the top. So when I finish the sketch, this part is sticking out a little bit further. So when I revolve this around this axis, you can see how if I were to go the whole way, it would leave an opening in here where the bottom is completely solid, but the top has an opening. And so that's kind of how you do that. So if you look at the angle here, if you split that in half, you're going to leave that opening, and then you're going to revolve it around there so you have double that gap that's right there. Okay. So if I did like a full revolve, it would actually look like that, and so you'd have kind of like a vase. If you choose the wrong axis, however, so let's say I want to revolve around this axis, notice that the program will not do that. The reason that it will not do that is because this part right here, if I'm revolving around this axis, it's going to run into itself as you're revolving. So when you, it's not going to let you do that. So you have to pick an axis that's going to allow it to fully revolve without running into itself. Like I could choose this axis up here, I could choose this axis, and I could choose this axis. I would not be able to do something like this because this part's going to probably spin right into it. Oh, actually no, I can't do that part because it won't end up spinning into itself. So you can see the different types of shapes that you're going to get if you choose different axes. So it takes, like, just as I said before, a little bit of imagination on, if I go around this axis with this shape, what is that going to actually look like? So that's a little bit of the Revolve tool and what you're going to be using in class.